Well, hi everybody. I'm back. It's 3 o'clock and here we are. And you know what? I've moved from my phone to my iPhone on my iPad, and I have a funny feeling it's not quite as effective. But anyway, I'm going to keep going and hopefully that I will see you guys when you're here. And I'm really excited because so many of you have said that you will be here today because you know what? We're at home. We're going through the most uncertain and anxious time that we've ever gone through in our lives. I have never felt anxious in my life, to be honest, until yesterday when I felt this pressure in my chest. And it's because we are just a little bit unsure. So while we're at home, I want us to use this time to uplift ourselves, to help improve our home, because there's so many easy things that you can do while you're here, and I will hold your hand and help you do whatever I can to make your home a better place, to make better use of the space, to raise the energy in your home, to get those pictures up on the wall that you've been meaning to do for 6 months or 6 years, to take out a paintbrush and paint a room and refresh it. It will be good for your mind, it will occupy you, your kids and your teenagers can help you, and anyway, I'm going to hold your hand and do that. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anne Toohey. I live up in Donegal and I am the interior designer with Room Junkie. Up until now, I have specialised in new builds and renovations mostly, and I also teach an interior design masterclass. And life is very ironic because in January, I held my last live masterclass. It was an amazing day. It was actually here in Letterkenny. I had a lady travel from California. I had 2 women come from Mount Rath down in County Louth. I had people come from Dublin and Belfast. Amazing. But I decided that I was going to not do any more live masterclasses, that I was going to put them online. Well, how ironic was that? Because I suspect for most of us, our life is going to be online. For the time being, it's how we're going to communicate. So today I am going to start as we mean to go on. And I'm going to start with decluttering because I can't tell you how much I believe in the power of decluttering, not just for enhancing your home, but for enhancing your mind. We recently moved house and it's a downsized move. So I had an entire house to purge, and it was the most wonderful thing that I have ever done in my life. Hard work, some of it, but you know what? I felt so incredible after doing it. And in fact, in the middle of it all, I set up a closed Facebook Room Junkie Detox Your Home group. There were about 400 of you there, which was fantastic. And we had great fun over 5 days in doing our detox. So this is only going to be 1 day, but to be honest, I am going to put the content of that 5-day class together so that by the end of the week it will be available if anybody wants it, to help them on their way. Now I'm seeing a few messages coming in, so I want to say hello before we get started. Maura Mackey is here. Thanks, Maura, great to hear you. And Marion, how are you? We will get together soon and we will tackle that house of yours. Hello Aisling, Anne-Marie McIntyre, there's a name from the class, and Anne Flanagan. Anne, how are you? I missed you, pet. So decluttering. Actually, before I start, you know what? I'm going to do a Facebook Live every single day because it's going to give me a lift, and I'm hoping it might give you a lift as well. So today is all about decluttering. Tomorrow is going to be about picking your perfect paint colour, because it always surprises me how many times if I'm having a class and I'll say to the group, who here has trouble picking paint? And inevitably their hands will go up and say, yeah, me, I find it impossible. So I'm going to show you my trusted, easy ways of picking the paint colour. We will do that tomorrow. I'm even going to show you how to pick the perfect grey colour as well, because as you know, grey is so tricky, and so many of you have gone to your friend's house and said, oh, I love that colour, what is it? And your friend will say, oh, it's little green or Faro Ball French grey, and you go home and you put it on your wall and it's not grey, it's green, because her room was south facing and yours is north facing. So there's lots that I will show you and teach you so that you'll be able to pick your perfect paints. That's tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, one of the girls, one of my Room Junkie girls wanted me to do a Facebook Live on how to make a small space appear larger and how to make the best use of your space. And let's face it, you're all at home now and you've got your children and your family, and many of you are working from home, your spouses are working from home. So you actually need to enhance the space in your house. You need to be clever about how you use it. So I'm looking forward to Wednesday, because this time last year I was in the middle of designing the greatest challenge of my life. It was a 19 square metre pods on the Wild Atlantic Way up in Creesla, which accommodated 4 people. And you know what? We did it, and I'm so proud of those babies. So all those tips and tricks and ways that I used to make those pods seem so much bigger than they are and to make the space work better, they're there. And then on Thursday, I'm doing something that I think is really, really important because of the current time that we're in. I want to show you how you can actually raise the energy in your house. There are so many things that you can do to make your house seem more uplifting. There are practical things, there are interior design solutions as well, there's a little bit of feng shui, but honestly, there are things that you can do that will absolutely raise the energy and make you feel good the minute you walk in the door, or even as you go from room to room. And then on Friday, we're going to have a bit of fun. Since we've moved here, I've had the house painted from top to toe, and now I need to hang loads and loads and loads of pictures. And I won't have my handyman to help me because he won't come into the house now, which is fair enough. So Anna's going to do them herself. So that's going to be a bit of fun, and I'll show you how to do it, the practical nuts and bolts of hanging a picture and what you do. And I'll also show you exactly how to hang a picture so that you don't hang your artwork too high, or so that you group art properly together, or you create a gallery wall, whatever you want to do. I will show you how to do it so that your house will look amazing, and you'll have all these wonderful pictures and photographs and memories on the wall to keep you in good humour. Now, before I delve into the decluttering, I am going to have a peek to see who else is here. Marie Ronahan, you stayed down in the pods. Oh, you'll be my biggest critic, but Marie, you've always have a bit of fun, and I haven't actually stayed in the pods. I didn't mean to, but I will do. When all of this is over, I'm going to spend a beautiful time in Creesla with my boys in the pods. Ashley McLaughlin, how are you? Lisa, how are you, my darling? Look at my roots, they're not doing so well without you. Emma Gardner, Emma, how are you doing as well? Listen, this is fantastic. So I'm going to get started with my decluttering rules, because like I said, we moved house before Christmas, and because I knew we were moving, I knew that I had to do the most amazing, massive purge of my life. So I thought very deeply about it, and I thought about how I was going to do it, because I'm lazy and I like to make things easy for myself, to be honest. But I wanted a ruthless purge. I knew that we were downsizing. I knew that I was going to have less reception rooms. And I also knew that I had a house, 2 attics, a garage, the space under the stairs full of junk, cupboards groaning with clothes and stuff. We all do. So to make it easy, I devised, and I have my little notes here to keep me right, a set of specific rules to keep me, in track, to make sure that I did it, to make sure that I was ruthless and focused on what I was doing. And it's as simple as this: 3 rules, 3 bags. And I adopted this simple principle to pretty much every single space that I decluttered in that house. And let me tell you, I didn't do it on my own. We filled 3 industrial sized builder's skips. We sent 10 man loads of stuff to the charity shop. I gave away quite a bit. I sold some furniture actually as well, and I discarded, threw out in the rubbish, got rid of stuff that I had held on to for years that had no purpose in my life whatsoever. So the 3 rules. Rule number 1, fundamental and very easy. It's a 12-month rule. Look at something. Have I worn this in the last 12 months? Have I used it in the last 12 months? If the answer is no, then I'm sorry. You have to just let it go. Get rid of it. Out. Second rule, if you say you have used it, but not too much, you have to ask yourself, will I wear it again? Will I use it again? And again, it's not a keeper if you say no. And the third and most fundamental rule in the book is, imagine this and say to yourself, if I was moving home tomorrow, would I bring this with me? And very quickly that focuses your mind on saying, you know what? Why would I pay somebody to transport this from here to there, put it in storage, hang on to it for another couple of years when I don't use it? I don't need this. So let it go. That's simple. That sounds so simplistic, but honestly, that works. And the next thing I did was, And this is my another little system to keep me going. And let me see who else is there. Oh, Mary McGinley, how are you? And thank you for that little bit of advice early. Susie, great to see you as well. And Katrina, you'll be able to help me with picking the paints tomorrow. There are three topics that or three headings, whatever you want to call them. 3 piles, 3 bags. One is a discard pile. Now this one is actually easy. This is the stuff that's broken. All those half-empty tubs of cosmetics and perfume bottles and stuff that's sitting in our cupboards that you know you're never going to use again. So that's easy. That's your discard pile. Another pile is your donate pile. These are things that do have value, but not to you. You've used them, you don't need them anymore. So these are things that will go to your friends, your family, to somebody maybe who's had a young baby, to charity shops. This is your donate pile. These are going to help somebody else because they fulfilled their brief with you. You don't need them anymore. You don't use them anymore. Believe me, you don't want them anymore. And the third one is a tricky one, and this is the not sure one. So what I do is I do actually get 3 bags and I label them. And the not sure one I'll come back to in a minute. I label them. And I do use bags simply because if I put something into a bag and I've gone to the trouble of putting a label on it, I would be more inclined to move it on to its next destination. So the discard pile is easy. It's a rubbish bag. As soon as that bag is full, I take it out and I put it in the rubbish. End of story, or I throw it in the skip. That's gone. And that's very easy. The donate pile, again, you have to be very strict with yourself here. You fill that bag. You label it. As soon as it's full, you put it in the boot of your car to bring to your charity shop. Now, I know under current circumstances, you're not going to be able to do that, but there will be somewhere that you can put it out of the way, because the danger is that if you keep that bag lying around, you might be tempted to open it and say, oh, you know what, maybe I do want this after all. Because you don't, you absolutely don't. So your donate pile, again, your donate bag, once you fill it, make sure it's labelled and keep it safely, until you move it on to the next stage. You're not sure bag, I would go back to that, or you're not sure pile, and again, apply the 3 rules from before. 12 months, have I used it in the last 12 months? Have I worn it? And if you haven't, make up your mind, or look at it and you say, I'm not sure, and say, you know what? I'm moving house tomorrow. Am I taking this with me? I guarantee you'll say no. I actually became bolder and bolder the more I got into this, and I can't tell you girls how good this felt. It was amazing. And the more I let go, the more my mind emptied and the more lighter I felt, not weight-wise, but mentally. And it was, until you try it for yourself, and if you haven't done this before, you'll never appreciate the positive benefits of doing this to your life are. Now, if you're not going to say to yourself, I'm going to do the entire house. I'll start today and I'm going to keep at it until I'm finished. Well, you won't, because you're going to be exhausted, absolutely exhausted. So I would say take it project at a time, take a room at a time, even take one area at a time, take a cupboard at a time. It actually doesn't matter, because once you start, you will actually finish. So maybe take whatever your disaster area is. Mine was actually the area under our stairs. Things went in there and they were just forgotten about. It got pushed further and further in, and it was quite a big space. So it held, I would say I got rid of 90% of everything that was there. The only thing I kept was the vacuum cleaner. And yet that space was full, and that energy was stagnant in our house because of it. And when I looked in and opened that door and saw this clean, pristine space, well, you know what? It made my heart sing. Looking at my notes, and before I do that, who else is here? Emma Boylan, how are you, Emma? Patricia, hello, and hello, Maria. I haven't actually done any of your workouts yet, but every morning I say to myself, you know what, I'm going to. Maura Mackey, my area are the kids' wardrobes. Yes. Now that's going to lead me into something, because this is interesting. One thing you have to be so mindful of, like with the kids and their clothes, if they're teenagers and their clothes are precious, well, they're not going to let you get rid of their good stuff. There's a good chance that they've grown out of clothes that are still in your wardrobe, so watch that and move things out. But with the kids, And indeed, with a lot of our clutter, there is a little bit of something going on, and that's called sentimentality. You know, all the artwork that the kids have done over the years, of course it's precious, but you know, what do you do with it? Does it stay there gathering dust? I'll be honest, I got rid of mine, most of it. The boys might be appalled to hear this, but I did take some photographs of some, and I kept some, and things that were really seriously sentimental, and that were sentimental in a good way, I would encourage you to keep. But there's something that I talk about, and I will talk about this more when I'm doing the day on raising the energy in your home. Oftentimes in our home, and we don't realise this, but it drags us down, there are things in our house that create negative energy and negative association. Maybe a gift from somebody that you can't stand, or a picture or a photograph, or even a piece of furniture that reminds you of a time in your life when life wasn't great and you weren't happy. And subconsciously, you don't actually remember this, but it does pull you down. So instead, what I would say is anything that doesn't bring you joy. Now I begin to sound a bit like Marie Kondo, but you know what I mean. If it doesn't bring you joy, if it doesn't make you happy to look at it, and particularly now when we're in an uncertain time and we're troubled and we're unsure, and yet we want to stay strong and we want to stay focused and be happy and keep our family happy, have a look around, and I would suggest that you dig out things that make you feel happy. Photographs of your children laughing on holidays, jumping into the water, photographs of people that you love. I have a photograph of my mother on my hall table, a beautiful photograph taken just a short while before she died, but she was beautiful in it, she was radiant, she was always beautiful, but this is a particularly wonderful time for her, even though she was not far from death. And every time when I walk into the hall, that puts me in great humour. So things like that, separate what's important in your life and get rid of the rest. Get rid of it. Who else is here? Anne O'Farrell watching from me, inspired now to declutter. Your tips are very helpful. Thank you, Anne. And you know what, I will add to this, there's so much more. I had a quick look through the videos that I did on the Declutter Your Home challenge, the 5-day challenge, and there's lots that I'll probably forget to say here, but I will put it all together in the next couple of days to help you. Anne Barry, oh great to see you, Anne. Emma Gardner, Kids Playroom, I'm actually going to devote an entire day to that, or a session to that, because someone asked me, she said the kids are home all the time now, the playroom is a mess, but we need to study, they need to work, they need to do a bit of their schoolwork. So I am going to spend a bit of time on that. That's a topic in itself. Michelle Given, how are you, darling? I missed you. Caroline, oh, love to everybody over in Carrick, and belated happy birthday to you as well, girlie. Now I've lost my train of thought. Okay, the other biggie, of course, for all us girls, pop into your bedroom, pop into your closet, pop into your wardrobe, have a look through your chest of drawers. Well, I did this when we were moving. I was lucky, I don't know, I still filled it. I had a big walk-in wardrobe because we built our house and we were able to design things like that as we were building it. And I looked at my wardrobe and I realised so much has to go. Because if you're being honest, there are things in your wardrobe that you haven't worn, never mind in 1 year. There was actually one beautiful dress that I used to wear in Bermuda before I had Richard. So it was probably a size 6. I will never wear that dress again, ever, ever, ever. And that wouldn't be the only one that was there for quite a long time. But the secret, if you have the mental energy to attack your own wardrobe, or even do it with a chest of drawers if you're not quite ready to get stuck into your wardrobe, you have to take, and there's work involved in this, you have to take every single thing out of your wardrobe. Everything, every shoe, every belt, every bag, every stitch of clothing. And doing this is really important, because when you do this, it actually makes it a bit easier to have the objective talk with yourself. Have I worn it again? Will I wear it again? If I was moving, would I be bringing this with me? And you have to physically take it off your bed and put it back into your wardrobe. And for some reason, this really does lighten the load and just make it a lot easier. And then the secret then, of course, is you must have your donate or discard bags beside you. And as soon as you make a decision, no, I'm not keeping this, and it's no good to anybody. It's well washed, shall we say. it can go into the discard bag. And if not, well, why not put it into the donate bag, because charity shops will be so, and you know what, in the uncertain times we're living in and nobody knows how we're going to be coming out of this, charity shops might be very, very glad of you taking the time now to go through your wardrobe and donate what you can. What else have I got written down here? I need to put my glasses on to see it. Okay, get over the sentimentality. We've done that. Okay, any questions, anybody? Linda, or how are you, Linda? I was watching you on the beach the other day. You gave me a lovely laugh. Joanne Brown, how are you? Roz Megan, you're in late, but you don't worry, there will be a replay. I haven't figured out how to do it yet, but there will be a replay. So, that in a nutshell is my, I don't know, how long have we been here? 20-minute take on a declutter, but I am going to put all of the information that I've put together in all the other videos. I'll maybe turn into a little ebook or something, and I'll have that ready for Friday. So if anybody is interested and seriously wants to use this time to purge their house in the best possible way, and in doing so purge your mind, you think of every cupboard in your house that's groaning down with things. All that negative energy is there in those cupboards, and you mightn't think it, but that is subliminally transmitting itself into your life. So the more that we can do, the more practical things that we can do to calm our life, to free up our space, to just raise the energy, raise the positivity. This is so, so important. And honestly, I really cannot begin to tell you the mental clarity, the contentment, the peace that you will achieve from doing this. And there are 7,000 of you plus on my Room Junkie page now at the minute, which is absolutely fantastic, and it's wonderful. But I know that over on the Detox group there are 400, and so many of those women share their stories, and I met some of them actually at my masterclass in January, and they said, Anne, it really, really helped, and it focused me because we were doing this together. So this is something big to do for all of us. And even though it's actually a small thing to do, because you can control it, you don't have to do it all at the one go. Tomorrow, if you feel up to it now, go and tackle a cupboard in your kitchen, or do something big like the under the stairs, or talk to your kids about the playroom. But take action, do it. You're at home anyway. It will keep your mind going, and honestly, come back to me tomorrow and tell me that you did something and it makes you feel so much better. So I'm just hoping that we'll all give ourselves a lift by being here. Please don't be shy. I hope you'll all get to know each other as the days and the weeks go by. My intention is that I will do a Facebook Live every single day until we've beaten this coronavirus. And I mean that. So there are topics, I'm sure, that I haven't even thought about that you maybe would like to know more about. You want to educate yourself, you want practical advice, whatever. I don't mind. I'm here and I'm willing and able, and whatever I have in here is yours to pick and talk, and I'm here. So have a lovely evening. I am so, so thrilled that I'm doing this, and I'm so, so thrilled that so many of you, it just seemed to have caught the imagination of people, because we're all in this together. We're all in the same boat, and all we can do is stay strong and be strong for each other and be as positive as we can. And just think of it, when we come out of it, your house will be ship shape and organised, and we will have a summer to remember. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. If you have any questions at all, I will scroll down and have a look through them. Don't be shy, ask away, and there will be a replay up at some point for anybody who wasn't able to catch things today. And hopefully as the days go by, I'll get better with the broadcast. I don't think I'm in the right room or in the right position, but this house is very bright, so I was compromised by what and where I could be. So by the end of it, I'll probably be able to do an RTE broadcast. But for the moment, bear with me. It's homemade, it's Mickey Mouse, but the sentiment is genuine. I want to help you. And you will, and you'll help yourselves, and together we'll all get through this. So if I can remember how to turn this video off, I'm going to do it now, and tomorrow I'll be back. So if anybody's thinking of painting, I'll be back tomorrow with how to pick the perfect paint colour. I've devised a way to do it. I've done this over and over and over for people. I teach it in my class as well. Once you know how to do this, you'll know how to paint forever. And I will get into the greys as well, because they're tricky, but you know what, my best success stories have been with a colour grey, having the right grey in the right place. Now before I go, I'm going to say goodbye, because there's a few more people coming up. Amanda O'Farrell's away off to her playroom. Well done. or Anne Flanagan, that will no bother to you because you're probably the most tenacious, organised person that I know, so you'll declutter, no problem. Fiona McLaughlin, what time are the lives? I'm going to try 3 o'clock, and let me know if this suits you, and let me know if it doesn't suit you. I don't know why I picked 3 o'clock, I just did. But there will always be a replay, it just won't be live. Okay, so goodbye everybody. I'll be back here at 3 o'clock tomorrow with a paintbrush. So I shall talk to you then. Bye. Now let me find the finish button, and here we go. Bye guys.